There it is. Hey, Spaceballs is with you.
I know. I thought that was so funny when I saw that yesterday. I was going, Darth Vader chair? No, that looks like more of a the Spaceballs helmet.
Definitely.
I can't remember what Rick Moranis was called in that. Dark Helmet.
Dark Helmet, come on.
I think it was Dark Helmet. Yeah.
I don't know. That's your domain.
I know.
Good morning, everybody. Check this out. We're getting fancy, bro. Animated graphics. What the heck is going on?
I love it. I love it.
I got to burn your logo, and it wasn't an insult. That's kind of fun.
It's kind of fun. I got to burn it, and guess what? Actually, you know what I'm trying to do right now? I'm trying to pull it up on our thing. I think I sent out the wrong link for
what?
Watching us.
Oh, well.
I think I did. I'm going
to tell you that people should pretty much know how to find us by now.
Honestly. Yeah, that is true.
I mean,
you would think.
I don't know what this episode is, but it's like our 20th time.
Yeah, it could be. Yep. Yep.
So what's going on, Mr. Joe Stepke? We don't have a solid game
agenda. But I really saw something today, and I got to give the shout out to Nick Dorsey, and Shara Ruffin. I was watching their show earlier today, and and I'm on Clubhouse now, Ira. I don't know if you saw that when I got on, because Nick called it out on. Oh, I guess you want to talk about your drone. That's a nice.
No, I'm just playing. Go ahead.
And God, I got to turn that thing off too. Sorry.
So you're on Clubhouse.
I'm on Clubhouse now. So Nick gave me a shout out when we were on he saw when I did it. And I had to use Joe, the finance guy, like I do with Twitter, J-O. Because you're only allowed 15 characters.
You don't know how to spell your name.
Right? Yeah, I know. I don't know how to spell my name. But I was on that podcast watching Shara, and it was great with her telling her story. And I was so inspired by what she went through, and it was great listening to her. But the thing that really got me going, she's a gamer. She's a gamer, Ira, and it was almost like all I kept thinking was, oh my gosh. And she was talking about how gaming, it was her escape. And I sent her in the DM the article on video games, the unsung heroes of the pandemic.
I just want you to read that comment real quick.
Hello, everyone. Joe, thanks. I saw. I spell my name J-O-E. I just went on Clubhouse as J-O because Joe, the finance guy.
I got two major platforms without the E. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know. It's terrible.
I could change the name of our page to Joe.
No. Just keep it the way it is.
You know what I think we're going to do with the E? You know how we changed the E for e-commerce?
Yeah.
Maybe what we'll do is we'll make that E blink just forever.
Oh, maybe. That would be good.
You know what I mean? Because Twitter and now Clubhouse, I mean.
Yep.
So let's tell everybody what it is. It's 14 or 15 character limit.
It's a 15 character limit.
And so that's the one letter that you can drop and it still kind of makes sense.
Correct. That's why I did it. I mean, it made a lot more sense doing J-O, the finance guy, versus.
We got Erica Warfield in the house, y'all.
Hi, Erica.
You know one of the things we like about Erica Warfield?
Everything.
Well, I said one of the things, not the only thing.
Okay, all right, sorry. Yeah,
I don't know what I don't like about her, but
right.
I can tell you lots of things I do like about her. One of the things I really like is she is a copywriter, and she helps our team with your blog writing,
Yep.
which is super cool.
Yep.
Because she has an incredible talent, and you know, you're a busy guy because you got to do 51 every month in 21.
Yeah, I would love to go on that one, but
How are we doing? How are we doing?
And the views and thoughts expressed on this show
There we
have
go.
nothing to do with ASEMA or anything else.
Or Rent-A-Center.
Rent-A-Center. It's all Joe the Finance Guy or Ira Bowman, Bowman Digital Media. I was complimented by one of my friends.
You know, this is funny. She goes, this is what she says. Before we answered, she thinks he's going to say she's ethical. I like that. An honest, friendly.
Right. Her character. Yeah, but that's part of her character. Remember, character doesn't change.
No, I know. That's the thing. And that's why, some people have questioned my relationship with Erica Warfield, like professionally, because I've had some other people that don't get along with her. And like, why did I go Team Erica? I'm going to tell you why. Because she's awesome. That's why. You know what I mean? Yep. She's a hard worker. She's way above board. She happens to be a believer, which I appreciate more than most people will probably ever understand. The fact is, she gets the job done. She's given me good leads. She's helpful. She's not selfish. I mean, anyways, she was part of Social Media Concierge for a reason. And so are you. You know what I mean? So, anyways, we should revive that. We should do some more projects. You got to turn your sound off, though.
Who, me?
You.
How do I turn my sound off on?
Oh, that was your text, your phone.
I know I did it, but the phone comes through the Mac.
Oh, it's one of those stupid things.
Oh, don't give me that one.
I'm trying to be smart, but it's. Hope you're having a great time. We are, Babish. How are you doing?
Yep.
We're just having a cup of coffee. This is Saturday's Cup of Joe. Okay, let's set the room. This is a term you hear on Clubhouse. Let's set the room every 5 minutes.
Oh, let's set the room. Okay.
Let's set the room. This is Saturday's Cup of Joe, y'all. We don't have a script.
No, but I did get comments today on what people.
I know, I saw them. I'm not all excited about the one where he was asking for football predictions. Like we have any idea?
He was talking about football.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a zoo or some sort. I mean,
one of them was. Now, one of them was talking, and this one is interesting, and I do want to talk about it. I don't remember who said what. So full disclosure, I can't give you credit for your ideas here, but I did read through the list as I was waking up because I'm going to tell you, I slept in until 8:22 this morning. And it was glorious.
Good for you.
Yeah, I felt really good about it. My wife was like, did you miss your show? And I'm like, no, it's not time yet. I was trying to squeeze every minute of pillow time I could get before I had to get up and make my coffee so I could have the Joe with the Saturday's Cup of Joe. But I read through because I know you're starting to do that every Saturday morning. I don't know what time it is for you that you do that, if that's 9 o'clock your time or whatever. But for me, it's showing up in 6 to 7 o'clock hour. But it's kind of cool. So what Joe's asking Saturday mornings, if you want to what
do you want to talk about?
Shape the show. What are you interested in? You know what I mean? One thing that we're probably never really going to touch on too much in here is politics. We've tried it a couple times, and our audience doesn't like it. It's not that they're rude or anything.
I just don't feel.
Yeah, and they disappear. So we're gonna stay off of that. But pretty much anything else we'll talk about. But the one that my wife is watching from the bed. He loves his smart devices. I really do. Anything technical, I really like it. We can get into that in a second. But the one that I wanted to talk about was how you use comic books in
Thane Isaacs. Thane Isaacs.
That's right. It was Thane. Dude, I'm telling you what, this graphic, I'm going to play it again for you guys. If you guys didn't catch it, this is the first time I've played it on the show. So Bowman Digital Media, we made this graphic for Joe the Finance Guy. This is comic book inspired. Joe didn't ask for this.
Nope.
This was a present that I made for Joe. And I know Joe loves Batman more than all of them, but he loves lots. Yeah, I mean, look behind him. See all those shiny boxes? Those are all comic book characters in boxes.
Yeah.
Okay? So I wanted to incorporate more of a comic book theme, and also the point of the graphic is for intros and outros on his YouTube videos, right?
Yep.
And I always want to highlight for my clients their website. So that was the idea in my mind before we started the creative process. And it was more than just me. I have an animator who helps me with these. Like, I can't do this by myself. This animation is above my own current skill set, although I'm getting better. But anyways, so check this out. And then, we'll start talking about how we use comic books or comic characters and all that stuff specifically to help Joe. And we can bring up the bat suit and all that stuff. Cause I mean,
go ahead.
The sky's the limit on this, man. I mean, really, we're only limited by our own creativity.
Correct.
Especially now that I have an animator on my team who's like phenomenal.
I love it.
I mean, there's so many things that we can do with it. I'm going to turn that into a GIF as well, because sometimes I want to use that in comments.
Right. I wanted that too, Ira, because I think I recorded it on my phone, but it only comes up as I didn't spend the time to change it to the GIF or whatever. I didn't want.
Yeah, well, I can convert it to a GIF for you.
Yeah, and I knew you could do it easier than.
Yeah, it's on my list. It's on my list of things to do.
But I thought it was I thought it was awesome. I mean, and the noise, the sound.
Yeah.
I just spot on.
Look, I don't know how to say this without bragging or coming off as egotistical.
No, please brag.
But the thing is, like, I do this for a living, right?
Right.
I don't do anything. I have 8 kids. I always come back to that. I don't do anything halfway, right? I'm like, if I'm going to do it, I do it all the way. And it was hard for me to not tell you about that project as I was working on the project because I was so excited about it. But the sound takes longer than the animation for me.
Really?
Yeah. I want the perfect sound. You know what I mean? So it's got to be perfect. In fact, I don't want to give away all my trade secrets, but there's multiple sounds that are mixed, like a DJ would mix 2 songs. You know what I mean? I do that multiple times. The Sparkfish one that I did actually was harder for the sound. That one's the hardest sound project that I've done so far, because I did flipping. So they're like tiles that flip. But, with that one, my motivation was because it's called Sparkfish and they're a software app company, an app developer. So I wanted to get something that had some technological hints to it, but also the fish. I was playing off the fish. The fish swim in the water.
Right.
So it's like a stream. So it starts out and it's flipping like dominoes. Like, what robotic is the thought process that I had there, kind of like the robot dance. Remember that?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, I do remember. Come on, I know the robot dance.
Yeah, but then the sound, what I did, so I used the clacking type sound for like dominoes when one hits the other. Uh-huh. So I used that type of a noise, and then I had a stream, like a digital stream overlay that I mixed, and I threw in some blue to represent the water. I mean, the whole thing. Like I said, I start with a vision in my mind, like a theme, and then I have to pick out the components. But anyways, that's kind of my new kick right now. I'm doing these. I'm doing one right now. I'm doing one right now for a client actually that is no longer even with me. So my brain is like, oh man, do I finish it? Because I don't do anything halfway. So I'm already half vested.
That's also part of your character and part of the story. I mean, not to switch, but listening to you and Alicia last night, good show, by the way, to give you a plug, #8 is enough. And I'm going to say it again. Poor Alicia. 8 is enough.
Strive for 9.
And then how do you go strive for 9 and then talk about 10? But anyways, listening.
Look, let me tell you, we were talking about this last night. Sales tactics work. If you use them properly, you weak man. Look, you and Damon, seriously, I gave you an example of how you do it last night on the show.
Uh,
If you're trying to get to 51, you don't aim at 51, bro. You aim at 60.
all right, hold on a minute.
So 9.
I understand that, but you're talking about personal, professional.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's all the same.
and not to divulge age of Alicia, but you're 45, correct?
No,
How old are you?
I'm way younger than that. I'll be 44 this year.
I right close enough. All right, 44.
Hey, I could have the baby before.
All
I'm
right.
45.
Anyways, by the time your kid is getting out of the house, you're 62.
Do you think I'm ever getting out of this house? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but 62.
Oh.
62. So, and that's the baby. That's, I mean,
Look at this.
Oh.
We have a supporter for the no politics policy.
Good.
Trust me, Julia, you are not alone. We watched it. We watched it the day after the election. And
I did not want to do it.
I was explaining the electoral
Right.
college.
I did not. And tell them I did not.
We watched our viewer count go from high to like nothing in the span of like 5 minutes. So.
And I said no. So thank you, Julia. I mean, I know what not to talk about.
I'm not a huge fan of Alexa. You know why?
Why?
Alexa is really smart in some ways and really dumb in other ways. So my kids, we have multiple devices with Alexa because it's the Amazon product for those of you who are not familiar with this thing, right? So it's the AI that you say something and she is like your personal assistant. So good idea. Works pretty well, but doesn't work well enough for me because I'm sitting here with a tablet. Just got it. It's an Amazon tablet. I bought it for my teleprompter. That's the only reason I bought it. To run one freaking app, to do one very specific thing when I'm out in the field doing a video shoot and somebody wants to read their lines because, you know, it's a script. So that's why I bought it. And I bought it to go in my teleprompter. I could have used my smartphone, but the fact is I used the smartphone for multiple things on set. And I wanted something dedicated to just the teleprompter.
Right. Teleprompter.
So my kids are out in the other room and they're saying, like, Alexa, play some stupid song that I definitely don't want to hear. And guess what starts playing on my tablet?
That stupid song.
Or because I don't have any, like, I didn't put any apps on it. You know what I mean? It has whatever came on it, which
Ira, hold on a minute. And since we got the viewers on there, Alexa, play scary movie or scary songs at 2 p.m. Whatever. I just wanted to put that out for anybody that has Alexa.
I'm glad I have my tablet off. And then here's the other thing. Like one day I came in here and the thing was playing jazz music. And I'm like, there ain't no jazz fans in this house. What the hell is that? So I figured it out. What's going on is my son, RJ, he's the 6-foot kid. Anyways, he loves, and when I say loves, like you love comic books, he loves musicals. He's a musical guy.
So I like musicals too.
Yeah. So he's in all of them. Like,
that's
you know what I mean? He likes them all. So he will say in his earbud to his
phone
tablet.
Yeah.
It's not a phone, it's a tablet that he walks around with, believe it or not. So he wants to play a song that he's got on his music app. Well, when he's telling Alexa that, Alexa's telling the rest of the house the same thing. This is not connected to any Amazon Music or anything. You know what I mean? It's not connected to Spotify or whatever. So it says, well, I could play you that song for $9. And then if you don't want to do that, then it'll find a music station that has similar music to the song that you requested, allegedly. Because sometimes I wonder, like, but it's done it now 3 or 4 times. But at the time I walked in with the jazz music, I didn't know any of that. I'm like, this thing has a mind of its own. It's possessed or what? You know what I mean? It's like remember the dolls when you were a kid that had the creepy voices in them? And you would go downstairs and they were talking. And you're like, whoa. Anyways.
We just actually, on that note, my wife and I just threw out a toy that my wife swears is possessed. It's one of those. It was one of the first ones that came out for the kids. Like you sit on the horse and it acts like it's riding, whatever, the animatronic one, and it would turn on. We got it out there, and it was in like it was put away, and my wife saw it again as we were putting the Christmas decorations. She goes, "We're throwing this out. I know this thing is possessed," because it would go on. My wife would walk in the room and it would just go on unexpectedly and like neigh and whatever and like turn its head. So she broke its head.
They make these things creepy, I think, on purpose.
Yeah, well, it was. We've had it for years, but yeah, that thing, the head's broken now, and it's big.
Was it down in your man cave here?
Well, it wasn't in the. It's down in the man cave.
Does your basement? We've never talked about this. Your basement cover the whole house, so it's a whole another floor. Yeah.
Yeah. It is. Except there's two like closets. Like one is our stockpile room where like we have all the, like extra stuff, food.
Your storage room.
Yeah, storage room. And then the other one is like for the Christmas decorations and all the other decorations or whatever.
So when we bought this house, we got a bigger house. It's like 100 square feet more, right? So we didn't really worry about where everything was going. Like we were like, well, we got more square feet, so we should be fine. The thing that I didn't think about, I underappreciated, was in the last house, we had 3-car garage. In this house, we have a 2-car garage. So we definitely have less space, but I bought more racking. So I was like, I'll just go vertical with more stuff. But then the other thing that was already there, which we've never had before, we have 2, I don't know, they're like, let's say they're 5x10s. They might be 6x12s, but they're something like that. They're side by side in the racks that are hung from the ceiling.
Uh-huh.
So on one side, we have all our Christmas stuff. And then on the other side, we have like sleeping bags and coolers and light camping stuff. I don't have like the tents up there, but I have the lighter stuff. Because I figure if anything falls, I don't want to die.
Right.
You know what I mean? But anyways, that helps a lot. But we don't have a storage room. It sounds like a very awesome thing to have.
Well, yes, it could be until you start. Like we went through some of the stuff, and I'm going, we don't even need this anymore.
My wife would tell you we could probably get rid of 90% of the stuff in our garage, and we wouldn't.
I know I could get rid of a lot of the stuff in there, and some of it. It's funny. My oldest daughter, love her, but she's kept some of her stuff here.
I'm telling you,
and she
starts sending an invoice.
And she has her own home, and then also we buy the kids Christmas presents, like the grandkids. We bought them.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't take them. Oh, I'm just going to leave them here. You're kidding me, right? Take them with you. We bought them for the kids, not to just have them here at the house. Like I could see 1 or 2 toys, but we're all, we don't need that anymore.
Do you know Bob Feathers?
I might. No, it doesn't ring a bell. Sorry.
Right. I met him yesterday. Sam Gupta has a thing, and I apologize because I don't have the name down yet. I just attended it for the first time yesterday. Sam Gupta's up in Canada. Okay. Anyways, he's a connection of mine.
It's not Happy Business.
It's like SMS or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, but Sam's a really cool guy. So, I've got to know Sam over the last couple of weeks on LinkedIn. He invited me to a happy hour type of event, which is funny because I'm drinking coffee and the rest of them are drinking. But they're all on East Coast time. You know what I mean? It's like I still got 3 hours of work. So, I wouldn't be drinking anyways. But anyhow, it was fun. We had a couple people Zoom bomb us. So this guy gets on a Zoom call. He's wearing nothing but shorts, and he's like a big boy. Like he could have played like Santa.
He's a big guy.
He could have played Santa.
Gotcha.
Big jelly everywhere. And he's just like, it's the funniest thing I think I've ever seen on any Zoom ever. And it was totally unplanned. And I don't know what he thought. I mean, we were all just kind of laughing. Anyways, that was funny.
But it was not Bob Feathers.
It was not. No. Bob Feathers is somebody. Now, you guys know I'm at 30,000. So I can't just connect with people. Just, you know what I mean? I have to make room. But I told him it was kind of at the end of the conversation. I'm like, everything that guy said, I like what he said, the way he said it. You know what I mean? He's a good guy. So I connected with him. So the reason why I'm saying this is Joe Stepke, I think you should connect with Bob Feathers, or Bob Feathers, send a connection request to, you have to spell it all the way out. Joseph Stepke with an E both times. JOSEPHSTEP.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm going there now. Let me see.
If you forget the E, you won't find them unless you're on Clubhouse or Twitter. Then you'll find them. Anyways, I digress. Bob Feathers is somebody y'all should connect with. Super cool guy.
All right. Well, I'm going in there now, and
by the way, Julia, man, if you guys aren't connected with Julia, you are missing out. And then Michelle Gunn, I love this lady, man.
She is awesome.
So she was on Marketing Mondays last week.
Yep.
Or the week before. I lose track of time. My wife is always like, you remember when and I'm like, you mean 2 years ago? And she knows, actually, that was 12 years ago. It's all the same to me, brother. You know this about me, I think, right? Don't ask me dates and times. I'm not, if it ain't on my calendar, it didn't happen.
Right, it didn't happen.
It ain't gonna happen. And if it could have been last week, it could have been when I was 12. I think every story I have ever told about my childhood is when I'm 12. I wasn't really 12. It's just in my mind I'm 12. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not good at that. Is that the dyslexia in me? Or what?
Probably you were traumatized at that time. Tell us about it, Ira. What happened at 12? I'm only kidding, Ira. Go ahead.
You do know what happened at 12, right?
I know. I really was not I wanted to.
You don't want to talk about sleeping on the driveways?
Yeah, no, you don't have to.
Anyways, yeah, let's keep going. Michelle Gunn is having me on her show Wednesday morning. So if y'all want to catch that out, it's something breakfast burrito. Life is a burrito. Everything's better in a burrito, I'll tell you that for sure. But I'm on her show. I will post a link for it later today if y'all are looking, because I don't remember the name of the show. Sorry, Michelle. I'm a bad friend. But she's another one you should all connect with. She's awesome. Julia, it was truly amazing. I don't know what they're talking about now. The audio is very. Oh yeah. So they're talking about Batman. The Batman inspired. See, that's the thing. I didn't want to totally rip it off because it's you. It was for you. But I loved making your logo like go up in flame. I just thought that was awesome. And then at that point, you're like, "What is he doing?" And
I really loved it.
And Joe the finance guy.
And let me tell you this. So I'm talking to, you know what? I've known this person for 20 plus years, going on 50. And I'm talking to him, was it yesterday, the day before? And he mentioned he's watched the show. And I'll say his name. It doesn't matter. Anyways, it's Michael Bennett. He's the CEO of Buddies. And he was telling me he's the godson or godfather of my son, my youngest son, or my only son. And he was telling me, he goes, I've been watching your show, you and Ira and stuff like, and I just thought that was great. I don't think he watches it live. And he did tell me he doesn't watch it live. He's gone on there before, but I thought that was awesome. I've never
tell him if he's interested. I have the eye to the third power, which is industry interviews by Ira. If he's interested, I would have him on that show, and there's advantages to him for coming on if he wants. That show is really designed for interviewing the CEOs or C-suite of larger companies. So that would be an interesting one to do.
C-level. Yep. Gotcha.
Yeah, but we can take that. Well, I won't talk strategy on that, but there are advantages for him personally and for his company to come on that.
Well,
show.
Buddies it's a huge Buddies.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, I know it's a big company.
Yeah.
So
but
my wife making fun of my DJ skills.
Or wickety whack.
Yeah.
Well, I put the whack in. Sorry.
Don't talk back.
Yeah.
It's all good. Binaural beats combined for sure. You made Sparky look good. Yeah, Sparkfish. Erica works with Sparkfish. I work with Sparkfish. So that's one of those things. Remember, I said Erica brings me leads. That's one of the leads that she brought me. I wouldn't have worked with Sparkfish if it wasn't for Erica Warfield. So again, on that one, well, I don't want to. Yeah, it was a fun project. It was a hard project, and I was very happy with the way it all turned out. Why does everybody laugh when I say 9? I don't know why that's funny. I got 8. I want more. My wife keeps telling me to wait for grandkids. I may be interested in putting an animation on my website. Perfect. No problem. Reach out to me. Send me a direct message here on LinkedIn or YouTube or Facebook, wherever you're finding me. You can go to bowmandigitalmedia.com.
Yep.
Second. And do I have it on here? Yes, I do.
You know the next animation I want.
Which one?
Remember I told you about, like, I thought I showed you the one where I'm walking like a cartoonish type figure of me dressed up with the hat, you know, like how I go to work and going in to see retailers. I thought we went over this already.
Maybe I was tired. I don't remember any of this. But you want to walk in? You want to walk into?
I'll tell you about it offline, because I definitely don't want that getting out anywhere.
All right, but when you see it, you're gonna be like,
yeah. Yep. It'll be awesome.
All right.
I'll give you something to inspire.
Look, my wife hates being sold, but she's been sold for a long time.
Alicia, I'm behind you. 8 is enough.
This is a very good point. I don't care if you're business to business. I don't care if you're business to consumer. I don't care if it's friend to friend. Nobody wants to be manipulated. You know what I mean? That's the word. So if your definition of sales is manipulation, then I totally get it. And I understand when you say you're going to sell somebody, the person on the other line goes, I don't want to be sold. 100% agree with that. So you have to, anyways, sales is a skill, and there's a lot to it. You have to understand the human psyche for sure if you're going to be good at this. And then you have to come at it. I call it all the time point of view, or the POV. So the point of view in your messaging, in your approach, should be from the vantage point of the client or the potential prospect.
Correct.
What are they looking for? How can you help them bring to life whatever it is they're trying to accomplish? Like in this case, it would be like, my wife only wants 8 kids and I want 9. So it's a hard sell, because what I'm trying to sell, the solution I'm trying to sell, doesn't match her objective, which is to keep only 8 kids instead of having another. You know what I mean?
So you said 10 on the thing yesterday, so that the compromise would be there to go to 9.
Not exactly, but yes, that is one way to use that.
Am I wrong? I mean, I thought
I'd be happier with 10.
Oh my gosh. You're crazy.
10's a perfect number.
You're crazy. You're crazy.
Tell me something I don't already know.
Yeah.
Let me see Joe's animation again. All right, one more time for all you people, because it is pretty cool. All right.
God, I love that.
Yeah, I like mine. I use mine all the time. So like this one, you guys see every time I have a video, I use my animation. I actually have 4 different ones, but this is the main one that I use in the beginning. And then I rotate through a few on the back end. So I have different intros and outros, but most people don't have either. So when I create it, I name it the intro outro. And then if you work with me more and you want to buy extras, then, you know, I can make a secondary one for you. But here's the main one that I use for Bowman Digital Media. And if you recognize that sound, that's from Tomb Raider.
Yeah, no, I didn't recognize it. Sorry.
Yeah, well, I try to. I don't have like a production company that's creating custom sound, so I have to take sound that's available and that's part of the that's the part of the challenge of it.
Did you
So,
do the same thing? Like, I know you said that's from Tomb Raider, but did you put, like, did you do the same thing with mine? Like mix it, like put more together on it?
can't divulge all my secrets, but I always make it unique. Let me just say,
that's all right.
let me say it that way. I always do things to make it unique. Sometimes I'm pulling, because I don't know how many of you know this. I started out as a music major in college, right? I've been singing and playing music longer than I've been doing just about anything else. So music is very important to me. So when I'm in there with the audio files and I'm doing my work, I'm adjusting things all the time.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I like the way that is done. So that does look really cool. So I love it.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So that was for Leon. He has to see it again. Michelle is laughing. I'm probably because I messed up her burrito name. We had our kids by the time my husband and I was 30 because he did not want in his 60s. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of people who think that way. And we started early. My first child was born at 23. Now, some of you guys know, some of you don't know. I don't really talk about this too much. My oldest child is not from Alicia. My oldest child is from somebody actually who's passed away. She's not even alive anymore. And we were never married. She was my girlfriend. Actually, it's kind of a funny story. Alicia and I started dating after my ex-girlfriend and I broke up. And then I got the notice that, hey, by the way, I'm pregnant. We didn't know when we were together. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I want to clarify. It wasn't funny about her not being alive. It's funny how you found out.
No, the story is funny, not that.
Yeah, the story of how you found out. When you ran it all in together. So that's why I was like,
I need a comma. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, you should have. However,
punctuation kills people. Well, in that sentence or that example, it's literally true.
Right. That's why I was like going.
Oh, yeah. No, the story of her death is unfortunate. I'm not going to talk about that because that's family business. But anyways, yeah. So my wife and I together have had 7 children, and the 8th child, the first child, is mine. So they're all from me, if that makes sense, right? But my wife has been around the whole time. You know what I mean?
He's been with you, right? I mean, your oldest?
He moved in with me when he was 14.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I didn't raise him. We had, visitation and custody and those things, but not full time. He lived full time with his mom until he was 14. Gotcha. Again, those are some messy details. It's a sad story. That part of the story is really sad, but I don't, you know what I mean? I don't want to.
I understand that. I was just asking and stuff. So
good. But so he was born in February of 2000, and my wife and I were married in June of 2000. So that's always an interesting story when it's like, well, how old's your oldest? 21. How long have you been married? 21. You know what I mean? It's like, wait a minute.
I can top that.
Wait a minute. What's that?
Ask me how long I've been married.
Joe, how long have you been married?
Funny you should ask. 21 years. Ask me how old.
Joe, how old is your oldest daughter?
28.
There you go. How'd that happen? Well,
Cass, my oldest, is she's my stepdaughter, but I don't treat her like my stepdaughter. She's my daughter. I always said that she was mine. She just came down the wrong chute. And like yours, her father is, he passed away when she was 10. I know we were living in South Carolina at the time. I think Tori was just born at that time too. So I think she was like 10 or 11, but she's always, Cass favors a lot of me, and I'm so proud of her and stuff. And there are things I'm very proud of her, and there's others that it's like, God, she's making her own way. She's not like me. I mean, I'm still proud of her, but she's just gone a different route. That's funny. That's where I was. So if anybody,
you're sweating to the oldies. That's the only reason I brought that up.
Yep. If anybody heard me taking off a belt, I was doing yoga with Liz and Kelly Robinson and Rick. I think it was just Liz, Kelly, Rick, and myself on there. So, and Paula was on there.
So I am a way behind on comments today, guys. I apologize. Kelly Robinson's in the house. I'm gonna go backwards.
All right, we'll keep going.
LOL. I think my wife was saying I don't remember laughing. I'm not sure what that was about. It was probably about me talking about my ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, the kids.
Yeah, anyways. Yeah, punctuation matters. I don't know.
It wasn't funny. I agree. Yeah,
music synthesizer. I use software to do my mixing. I don't have hardware. Now, I run a soundboard. I run lots of soundboards now, as it turns out, but I run a soundboard at church. Although most of the time, in full disclosure, at church, I'm on the video system and running the social media. Go figure, they want me running social media when I'm at church, but that's part of what I do. But I do also run the soundboard, so I do know how to use the hardware, but I have a software version that I use for my Bowman Digital Media work. Oh wait, getting another one. Not sure what that is. He's talking about coffee. Gotta avoid copyrights. It's a big deal, and this actually happened yesterday. So yesterday, I volunteered my services at a funeral through the church, and they had made a pre-made video, which this always happens. People put mainstream songs on these things, and they want to play them over. You cannot do that. In fact, we got shut down by YouTube and Facebook. I had to turn the sound off of their video and turn up a different source of sound, music that I know I can go to and just have it play. And I had to explain to the family later, like, look, you had 35 people watching this service online who are going to be yanked. And the church actually was going to get in trouble by these, you can't. People own rights to music. You have to respect them. And that's one of the things when you use a professional like me, I understand what the laws are and how to use them properly. And you can pay for copyright usage if you want. But just so you guys have an idea, a lot of these songs, the opening bid to use, like if you want to play, I don't know a famous song off the top of my head, but let's say you want to play, Achy Breaky Heart or Can't Touch This, or I don't care what you think of the song. These copyright use for a song like that is going to be about 50 grand, sometimes 100 grand. Depends on the project. It depends on the studio, because you not only have to pay the person who wrote the song, you have to pay the studio or the recording label that owns the rights to the song. It gets expensive, and they don't care about whatever it is that you're trying to do. It's just a business transaction. So copyrights, Tim, it's a huge thing. By the way, that's my brother, in case you guys don't know. If you can't recognize the last name, Bowman. Can't confirm, but he cones his crazy. Honestly, I don't know. What would really happier with 10? Oh, all right. Yes, I would. Bring it.
Yeah, I'm behind you, Alicia. So if you could do it, great. But if you can't, I understand.
What we got here? I want to know what Joe is doing this weekend. I know you are working. I'm always working.
Oh, what am I?
What I am going to do this weekend? I did bring this out. So yesterday, I flew this bad boy for the first time, and it works great. So today, one of the things I'm going to be doing is taking this out to a bigger field. I flew this in my backyard. I flew this thing way over my house. I did learn, because again, you got to look up all the rules. The FAA rules, this can only go up to 400 feet in the air. And so I bought one that would go 4,000 feet. My controller will go a hell of a lot farther than I can go up. So that just means I have to go out, if you're following me. But it'll actually shoot video back to my phone 1,150 feet is what it says. I haven't tested that yet. But this thing will follow me. It'll do a circle around me. It can do 16 waypoints. There's a lot of things this thing can do. So I'm going to take this out. You guys see the pictures of me hiking and stuff. There's a big field out there. I'm going to take it to that and run it through its paces.
Well, Alicia, you know what I'm doing this weekend? The grandkids are coming over. I think they're actually here now. I can hear them upstairs. So the grandkids are over. I'm working on some. I'm actually doing some work, and just focusing on some other clients and trying to connect with them. I got on Clubhouse, so I am interested to see when Nick and my friends will be on Clubhouse so that I could join them at least for a thing on there and try this Clubhouse crack house thing or whatever.
Yeah, and be careful with this, Julia, Tobias. And sometimes copyrights, that's all you have to do, and other times they'll still shut it down, because YouTube, for example, is not going through your written disclaimers, right? They're just pulling up the music going, hey, this is copyrighted material, shut it down. So yeah, just have to be careful. But if what you're doing is working and you're not getting censored or what they call strikes, then you're totally fine. So
I'm actually going through these comments on here, and man, you missed one of them, because I'm going to, I know that Erica put something up about the age difference, and she know. Oh man,
no, I know Peter Hammer
21 is almost the age difference between me and Peter.
Yeah,
and she knows I mess with both of them on that when I'm talking to them. So I love that. I think they're the cutest couple together.
They really are, and I love Peter Hammer to death. He's fun to talk to. Although I haven't seen him in a while.
The only thing I saw was on that video. Well, wait a minute. There was a Zoom call. Didn't we? They were on the Zoom call where he was part of it. I mean, they were together when we were on. I thought you were there too. I can't remember. But I
haven't been part of. Well, I was part of Sam's yesterday, but our group, you know what I'm talking about. You know, our immediate Kelly Robinson and the Dream Team, or social media concierge. We haven't had a group.
Thank you, Randy.
You know, we had the MyVab call on Wednesday. That was cool.
Yep.
So
I didn't get on that because I was working.
Yeah, no, that one was cool.
And that was the one with Brian.
Yeah, and he did a sales strategy.
And I hated missing it, but I was out. There was no way I could.
No, it was good. It was good. Kelly probably felt like a guinea pig because he was using her as an example, but I like laughing at Kelly Robinson, so it's fine.
She was. I'll tell you something. She did. Her and Paula are awesome, and Liz at doing the yoga stuff or whatever. And I'm over on so I got the camera down a little bit like this on the yoga mat when I'm doing
it. Wait, you're showing them that you're doing it?
Yeah.
I would turn the video off, bro. Nobody needs to see this fat body moving.
Anyways, listen, I've done a couple workouts with them on the Zoom thing, and doing the yoga or whatever. I thought it was pretty cool. It was awesome.
Be flattering right there.
So flexible, Paula. Oh my God, I couldn't do that.
I used to call my wife Gumby.
Well, maybe it's the female anatomy that allows them to do it. I know.
I've always been stiff as a board. Like, I used to be ripped. You know what I mean? We've talked about this before. I used to be
I know. I used to have a body like Rocky Balboa. Right. I know.
But even then, I wasn't flexible ever. I've never been flexible. I was always strong.
I'm reading some of this.
She's giving you props. Hey. You don't need to, Joe's ego, we have to deflate.
Dial it down. You're right.
Not inflate.
And you know what? I don't even joke when we're working out. I mean, like today, I was really listening.
Paula said she's not watching the camera when she's working out.
We're in the asana. I think is what asana. We're in our mind.
They do this every Saturday. So my wife was asking about it. They do it Saturday, but you guys do it at like 6 o'clock our time, right?
It was 11:30 Eastern that it started, and it should have went to 12:30.
My wife My wife is not getting her Happy Gilmore butt out of bed to do yoga at 6:30 in the morning. Although if it's 11:30,
It's 8:30.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, it's 8:30 because remember we come on at 9. She would have. I bet you she would have done it. I just had to get off.
How do y'all broadcast that? Is that on YouTube or where is it at?
No, it was just a Zoom call.
Oh, it's Zoom.
So Liz, if you're listening, do one next week. Do it at 11, whatever time. If we could do it,
we can't do it at this time. We have our show,
no.
bro.
Well, I'll do. I did it for a half hour and got off.
Hey, not all of us can pop on 3 minutes before the show starts.
Not well, maybe you couldn't, but I could. I had it all done.
I could probably do yoga for 5 minutes, and that would be enough for me.
It was great. Liz did a great job and stuff. So
if you're looking for stuff with the Bowmans and you have to pick between Ira and Alicia, I'm telling you, Alicia is the better choice almost every single time. Unless you need something technical, she's funnier, she's nicer, she remembers stuff better. She'll give you credit for things that you do.
She's the yin to your yang.
Oh, 100%, bro.
Yep.
100%.
Right.
And it's no.
And I know I didn't get to say it to you on your show yesterday, you and her. I do appreciate the nice comments and the niceties that you said about
Check this out, 6 a.m. Nope. Have you seen those videos where it's like, nope, yep,
nope. It's 8:30. It's 8:30 for you.
8:30 is, but 6 is a hard like. There's so many comments in here; it's hard to keep up. Okay, so let's talk about this because we're getting close to the end here.
Yeah, we're getting close to the end, and I'm gonna play with the grandkids.
We didn't really talk about it. I mean, I showed the graphic and stuff for you, but I do want to talk about. I think it's fascinating, and it's a real life case study that you do. We're doing with Joe the Finance Guy. We're using comics to help promote your business.
Correct.
So
and not only that. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead because I was just going to.
I was going to say, going back to Thane's comment on how I use it. I think when I'm out there, I've working with, and I'm only going to use working with the SEMA for the past 5 years. But in anything I ever did, I developed relationships with people due to being more like a chameleon. I'm a disabled vet. I was in the Army. I like the comic books. You could always find something that somebody's interested in. And nowadays, so many people let loose their inner geek. It's okay to talk about it now. After Big Bang Theory came out, the Marvel movies, everybody's so much into, oh my gosh, I love that stuff. And it's so true. And I use that in there. And for me, my character, it's odd, and I don't 50 years
you're odd. You are odd.
I am odd. But 50 years old, and I'm talking about this, but I think my character and my persona is of like it's superhero quality. If somebody's in trouble, I'm always going to go to it. If somebody
Indiana Joe, or are we talking about Batman?
No, Batman, Indiana Joe. It's just my character. My own personal character is that I believe of a superhero. I believe in fighting for the underdog. I believe in.
I'm going to tell you that making this graphic was one of the most fun things I did in 2020.
I do love that one.
This is one of my favorite things. So if you guys are unfamiliar, Joe you were just in your bat cave, right? You just stood by a wall.
No, I was actually
or were you upstairs?
I was upstairs. I was putting it on. That was the day.
Yeah, that was the first time. It was the first time you put it on.
Yep.
And you don't even have the gloves and the boots on in this picture, right?
Right.
Yeah. So, anyways, I took the picture. I stripped out all the background, his house, and then I actually did it a couple different ways. I did this one, and I did this one, which I like this one too. So same thing. Once I did the background removal, then I was able to play with it. And it was like, this is actually the first one that I did.
Yep, it was. And the second one was the...
Yeah. And so the second one, there was a couple things that I liked better about the second one. So that's not what I want to show. Where is it? Here we go. So, but this is everything. It's the Dark Knight. it's the Joe the Finance guy, but I love the contrast of the white versus the dark sky.
Yep.
And I think this is Boston, if I remember right, the city. But I liked the old, if you look, it's old cobblestone road.
Right.
Got those big, heavy chains on the harbor, the light shining off the water. I just thought, this is perfect. And what do we do with this? We make social media posts, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, all that stuff. I don't think you've ever used this in email campaigns, but you certainly could, especially during.
I could.
You know-
I can't wait to do the Ironman one next year or this year. You know, I'm getting an Ironman costume.
I'm about to. Yeah, we're gonna have some fun. Okay, so but even beyond all that, like you got that business card from your Acima credit from your employer. It's the Indiana Joe.
Oh, when I got the it was my anniversary card that I got from, and then somebody drew out Indiana Joe on there. And I thought that was awesome. And that was being with the company for 5 years. It was funny. I sent I sent an email to 2 people yesterday about gratitude in the workplace.
Check this one out. So he's got the Wolverine knives, right? And then he's wearing his Acima shirt. This was not made by me. This was made by Liz Jones. So you're doing a call with her. I don't know if you guys are still doing that, but anyways, you were doing a call with her on Thursdays, if I remember right.
Right. Well, I'm usually out working on Thursdays, but this was one of the times where I was in.
Well, this was during lockdown.
Yep.
So, but anyways, this is another one. We turn this into social media posts, but Joe doesn't run from his superhero comic book, affinity. We incorporate it into it's part of his personality. And a lot of people my age or a little older, we all like this stuff, right? I grew up. I still don't understand how anybody in the world in the right mind, and I say right mind because obviously there's people like Joe who are not in the right mind, who think that Batman is better than Superman. I just don't understand that. I can't. Like we've talked about it till I'm blue in the face, and I just we're never going to agree. It's like what color is better, red or blue? You just like whichever one you like better.
Thank you, Julia. Thank you very much.
This one?
Like Batman.
Bold statement, Batman. Yeah, you can make it all you want, but there's no case for it. That's the problem. The guy has no superpowers at all. None.
He's rich.
Okay, he's wealthy. That's great, but that's all. But he has toys. Okay. So I've been watching Marvel on Netflix. I've been watching Daredevil.
Are you liking it?
I really like season 1.
Season 1 was great.
Season 2 was okay. Season 3, I'm not done.
I have not seen season 3 after that. Season 1 was awesome with King.
Yeah, I really liked season 1. It got me hooked on it. And then season 2 got a little bit corny. But the thing I was going to say about that, he reminds me of Batman a lot. Because, he's not necessarily a superhero, but he does have super senses, right? Like, the extra stuff. And I don't want to give it away for the people who haven't seen it, but he reminded me of Batman. Is he more?
You're not giving anything away. His extra senses. He went blind as a child,
9 years old,
and his sense, his hearing, and he has like sonic. I like a bat. It's like sonic sonar sensing or whatever, and that's
he can't see. It's just not what we see. He
sees vibrations.
Yeah, they try and show it. They try and show it a few times. It's like fire. Everything's fiery.
You're right.
It's almost like orange and yellow spectrum. But anyways, where I'm going with that is, he reminds me of Batman because what does Batman like to do? Batman likes to whoop butt and take. He doesn't take names. He just kicks butt. You know what I mean? That's the thing that's I think because I don't care about all the toys. But like Batman, if you see Batman, the odds are he's whooping your butt. You know what I mean? Like that's what he does. Well, that's what Daredevil does. He kicks everybody's butt, even when you're like, okay, that's enough, and he's going for it. But the thing about Daredevil is, and he has the cool suit just like Batman. So, but the thing that makes him different, he does have the extra sensory, where Batman is using the tools. You know what I mean? He's got the gadgets. Daredevil doesn't. He really doesn't have gadgets except for this one nightstick billy club thing that does like nunchucks and some other stuff, right? But
Right.
Batman and Daredevil in a knuckle fight. Forget the toys, because Batman would kill him with all his toys. There's no doubt. But just mano y mano, who's the better fighter?
Batman.
Why?
Listen, don't put me in that thing. It's Batman. I don't know.
Well, they were both trained by these kung fu masters.
It doesn't matter. It's Batman. Oh, and you can't compare Daredevil being trained by, I think it was Stick or whatever.
Stick,
Can't compare
yes.
him to being trained by what Batman was trained by when he went over to Japan or whatever.
Yeah.
You can't compare that. But either
That was
way,
a weird movie. That one where he goes and they show about that, I'm like, I don't know.
which one?
I didn't really like that one.
Are you
That was-
talking when
That's what is that when he's fighting Bane or whatever his name is?
No. When he fought Bane, in the and you're thinking Dark
I'm
Knight.
out of my depth. For any of you who don't know, I'm out of my depth right now. This is Joe's territory.
Yeah, if you're talking about Dark Knight Returns, if you're talking about Bane, they
But that was the thing, like he couldn't beat him, right? That guy he couldn't beat because his gadgets weren't good enough to beat Bane. But then they kind of like go back in time and show you how he learned how to fight and
right
stuff.
and how he evolved. And,
Yeah, he climbs out of that cave prison, right? Yeah.
yeah, but that's just a different take on it. That's not even the comic. That's not
Right.
the comic book take. That's the
Right.
movie take. So
Well, that's cool. I'm into it.
it is.
Wonder Woman is the culmination of Batman and Superman together. Word. Yeah, I don't know about that, but okay. Superman manipulates crystals and energies. Superman.
I'd expect that.
Why?
Julie,
Superman
you and I
can
gotta
fly.
talk.
Superman can shoot stuff out of his eyes. Look, I've always told this is my argument. 100%. Superman doesn't even have to be on the planet to kill you. He could be hovering way out in outer space and just eye laser beam you and you're done. Plus, he could freeze you to death, so you
Here
can't
we
even. But he doesn't have to ever be in arm's length. And when he is in arm's length, guess what? He's indestructible. He's the Man of Steel.
Anyways, it does.
I know in the movie they shoot these magical kryptonite crystals at him. You know what I mean? And that's how we get it. But I'm like, why would he ever get close enough to let you do that?
You're never gonna see it coming, especially. I don't know. Anyways, what I was saying,
He's got super hearing too. Don't forget, he can.
I got to talk to Julia offline. I really, when you look at her, what she does and stuff like that. Yeah, I definitely got. I would expect that comment from her. So
Julia is super cool.
Thank you so much, Julia.
You call the bats. You got on whatever. All right, glides. Wonder Woman has the toys. She does, and the powers. No, there's 100%, and she looks better than Batman. So there's that too.
Of
All
course.
right. What is something that you've got going on this next week? What's something?
This next week. It's funny you should say that, and I have to keep it close to the chest right now.
Hi, Candy.
I can't. I gotta keep it close to the chest because Greg and I were talking about this, and I'm working on something. I'm working on something.
I got something coming up from work
It's
this
gonna
week.
be huge. No, I'm kidding. It's gonna be huge. It is. I am working on something big.
Yeah, this is my Wonder Woman, 100%.
My wife's my Catwoman.
My wife was getting jealous of. I said Wonder Woman looks better than Batman and Superman.
But anyways, no, I'm going to be working on. I got some bigger clients I'm working on.
Hi, Bash.
and that's about it. Not really much else. Just getting caught up with a couple things, and you're going to be adding something to my logo,
Sweet.
so which is really good
Sweet.
because that's all Joe Stepke. Nobody else's. Well, actually, technically, it's all my wife. So I was smart that way. But anyways,
and we've talked about this before. I love your logo. The Joe the Finance Guy logo is awesome. So, anyways, for me, biggest thing I got coming up this week, man, I don't know. I got projects that I'm working on. I'll probably be finishing that animated logo for the client that's no longer with me. I'm actually kind of embarrassed by that too, because so I'm not a QuickBooks expert, right? So I'm on QuickBooks, and I keep track of who pays. You know this. I keep track of that stuff. Well, I had a client that it was a new client. In fact, I only had him for 1 month, and so I sent out the invoice for the second month, and it got paid in QuickBooks, I thought. So I kept on going. Then I realized that I made a mistake in QuickBooks when I did a reconciliation. It reconciled a payment from another client to that client, their account. So because they're relatively new, I was doing one of these animation things for them because, they were on one of my bigger packages. And anyways, so now I'm like, well, what do I do? Because they didn't pay me. So, but I think I am going to finish it because it just feels like the right thing to do. And then I'll just use it in my promo stuff. But I'll probably finish that out. Anyways, yeah, I'm not. Erica knows the back because she sent me the lead for that client. So I'm not. I mean, like, I know what I did.
right.
The numbers say awesome, right? And anyways, but I haven't heard from the client, so it's like I can't work for you for free. What does that say? You seem to see your wife as whatever figure I would prefer.
Just like what Julia's saying is that your wife, she would want to be the equal to Wonder Woman as well, in your mind.
My wife, actually, I'll tell you, I'd rather have my wife than Wonder Woman. My wife, look, here's a lady who has put up with all my crap for 20 years. She does it with grace and mercy, and there's a lot of stories I won't share, but trust me, Ira was not always this wonderful person that you all seem to think I am now. She's raised my kids, my kids, all the good stuff, the qualities and the attributes and the stuff that my kids have that are good, because my wife has invested her life into them. She's made our house a home for 20 years. Like, we've lived in all kinds of places. We've moved all over the place, but my wife invites people over and helps me make friends, because otherwise I'm just sitting behind a computer. You know what I mean? And there's all kinds of stuff I could go on and on and on. But yeah, my wife is better than Superman or Superwoman, Wonder Woman, whatever her name is.
But anyways, all right. So we out of here now because my grandkids are running around upstairs.
Grandkids up there. Okay, let me do this. We're gonna show this one more time. Now,
that is money.
Breaking news. I almost, in full disclosure, did voiceover right there. JoeTheFinanceGuy.com. Like a villain. I was going to do that.
Pretty cool.
So, yeah, that's what I thought, but I couldn't get it to work. The way I wanted it to. So, anyways, if we ever add it
again so I got the other screen up. I was watching it again on there. God.
Yeah. So if we ever make a edit to that, that would be my suggestion.
Hey, you never know. You know how you pay for cameos?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that? I wonder if I could get Kevin Conroy, if I paid for it, would he do it? JoeTheFinanceGuy.com and make it sound like the animated Batman.
That'd be cool.
I know. God, that would be.
And we could always, if we wanted to go female with it, we could always get Tasia or Erica to do it.
That's true. Oh my God.
Yeah. I didn't think about going female with that. I was trying to do it myself. And I was trying to go because like Deep Smoky is that was my
and that's
my thought.
Kevin Conroy. He's the voice actor of Batman the animated series.
Yeah.
He would be awesome. And I had a chance to meet him, but the line was so huge, and I didn't do it at Comic-Con, and I hate it. But I should.
That wasn't in my budget, anyways, right? But I'll tell you who could potentially do it from the man side.
Rob?
No, I was thinking Curtis Tompkins. He's got that real deep voice.
He does.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, Curtis. I didn't think about that.
If I could get him to say joethefinanceguy.com and tag that up, that might be better because it didn't quite sound right. You know what I mean? Like I knew what I wanted it to sound like, and I couldn't get there.
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't sound right.
Like I could be more like the teenage version. joethefinanceguy.com, yeah.
That's good.
For the spoof version.
God, that would be funny.
All right. Well.
All right.
So,
let's play us out.
Yeah. I hope you have a great week, everybody. If I missed your comment today, I'm sorry. I was a little off my game today, but we really appreciate you hanging there with us, and we hope to see you next week. Have a great week, everybody.
See you later, everyone.
Erica, let's talk, Erica. We can do it.